Crime.
Let's get it together.
Education.
Let's get it together.
Marriage.
Let's get it together.
Politics.
Let's get it together. Full circle.
Poverty.
Let's get it together.
Race.
Let's get it together. Full circle. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Full Circle Podcast Show, episode number 17. I am Darryl McCullough, the Sane Poet, along with Rashawn Bryant, the African Caesar, from the Sneaker Box Podcast.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Hey, oh yeah, absolutely.
He practices in the mirror.
I do it. That's how I learned how to dance. What shoe do you have on today?
I decided to wear. Everybody was asking me what was the most valuable shoe I have in my collection, and this is by far the most valuable. They are the Shattered Backboard Air Jordan 1.
Hey!
They were limited, and then I wear a size 15, so they're like super limited.
Wow.
They go for like $1,000.
Shut up!
My size. No playing.
Wow. And if anyone's interested, I'm wearing the K-Swiss. I think that's just the K-Swiss size 16. And
The K-Swiss, that's it. There's no colorway or anything.
I'm
just
cool.
the K-Swiss size 16.
And as always,
They're real big in San Diego.
Wow, I believe it. I know it. And as always, we are joined with the classy, energetic, and Toledo's Dimple Queen, our co-host,
Queen?
Carmen Miller.
I think I should wave. Like, if it's Queen, I'm going to do that.
I know.
That is perfect.
Can I ask her a question real quick, though?
What's that?
Because last week, in case you guys don't know, like your husband was here, and he was really excited about getting Twister after the show.
No, you know what? No, we do not have a Twister. We don't have.
He wanted to get Twister and some baby oil. That's all I
Yeah,
heard.
I didn't hear.
Those
you know
two
what?
products.
That's
No?
no.
Well, you know what?
That's not what I heard. That's all. I just wanted to ask.
Okay.
Since we're on Carmen.
Yeah, are we on?
Yeah, we're on
Not
Carmen.
like her husband was doing Twister.
Okay. Y'all play too much. Y'all play way too much.
I'm gonna go here.
I
I got a little concern with Carmen.
No, we're not concerned yet.
Well, I got a little concern.
We're not concerned yet. Are we concerned?
Because it's two things. Carmen, we're going to go right to our introduction, but just bear with us.
Okay. I was not ready for us
We try
to
to
be
clear
concerned.
the air before we start. Carmen is
y'all stretch?
Carmen
I'm
is
breathing
a voice.
like a mug.
She's
cool.
she is a voice hater.
How am I a voice hater?
Because
No.
when we had to do the Full Circle
That
Podcast Show theme song over.
That's not true. He said,
We did it. I listened to it. It was great. I text Carmen.
No.
I said, Carmen, you have a beautiful voice. And then she texted me back and she said, thank you.
I have the receipts.
She
No,
didn't
that's
say
not
anything
a thing.
about, Darryl, you have a great voice or nothing like
I
that.
have the receipts. See, the thing about it is, I did not hear your voice at all. What happened was I came in and I did my drop dry. I did my drop to just the reference track. I didn't hear you. So I have no idea what it sounds like. I know you have a wonderful voice. You're great, Darryl.
Well,
I told you that.
so you're saying I
great.
can be on your next album?
I have not planned yet the
What do you
recording
want?
schedule.
What do you want from me?
See,
From the depths of
We're-
the sea,
you know what?
back
No,
to the
we-
block, Snoop Doggy
see-
Dogg is funky. I mean, I can sing.
That's not what we do though. When I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna let you know when we putting it together. I'll let you know what's going on.
Oh, man. I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So let's get ready to have another fun and exciting
But
episode.
the way he sang it was like it was a lullaby. Like he was putting a baby to sleep.
I don't-
From the depths of the sea. Snoop
I
Dogg.
don't. I've never heard lounge Snoop.
That was a first.
That was like Snoop the lounge.
Full
singer.
circle just broke new ground.
I don't know. He said Dimple Queen. I said people give themselves like titles and stuff.
Yes.
You know, like the King of Pop and
God.
the Princess of Dance Hall and like, you know, the Queen of Hip Hop Soul and all of that. I think he is going to be the King of Lounge. soul.
Yes,
I like
lounge
that.
hip hop.
I like that.
Lounge hip hop.
I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh.
And I'll be
one-
the empress of funk.
And one more thing. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank
No, seriously,
you.
yeah.
Even though she's a double Facebook liker, because
Oh,
she
wait, we ain't even got good into the
because-
show.
I'm saying, like, it's
Press
just been
pause
titles.
real quick.
Because-
Okay, so wait. Let's get into the show properly. He doing all types of extra.
I will
Okay.
say this though: if y'all don't have Twister, I would give that to you as a wedding
As an
gift.
anniversary present. Okay,
gift.
yeah, okay.
And some baby oil.
Let's get ready to have another fun and exciting episode from the perspective of a liberal, conservative, and independent state of mind. Today's topic was picked by our special call-in guest, actor, writer, director, and producer Carl Seaton. Carl chose for us the topic of the importance of being a real father, and he'll be joining us later in the show to give us his viewpoint, as well as talk to us about his TV One show, Bad Dad Rehab, which is very special to me, and I have a connection to that, and it's going to be an awesome show. So before we get into all of this stuff, let's get into what's going on in the world. So I'm assuming he's got some stuff that he wants to talk to me about. So what's going on?
Well, I was getting things set up for the call, but oh no, the Facebook liker, the double liker. I have to say this:
I'm not a double liker on
when
purpose.
it's your anniversary, so you sent out a message and said, "Okay, tomorrow's my anniversary."
Yes.
So I was like, "Okay, wow, that's great. I'm gonna like that."
Yeah.
Then the day of your anniversary, you
Yeah.
send something else out,
And say,
it's
"It's our
happy birthday." So I
anniversary.
was like, "Now I gotta like that too." There's a
Yes,
double
you
like off
do.
the same thing.
But it's not on the same thing. It was the day before that I was letting y'all know that it was going to be, and then the day of, it actually was.
But
So that's not like a double like. That is, you liked in advance, and then you liked on the day.
but
I'm not saying that I'm
congratulations. How
a-
many years you guys got?
We've got 21 married. Yes, we do.
21 married. See
21
how she said that? Letting you know there was some
We were
shacking
together.
up in-
We were together for 27. Thank you kindly.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It's ironic that today's show is about the importance of being a good father.
Yes. I can
Address the situation, but
I can say that my husband has been an excellent father to all three of our children.
yes. So the kids won't be there when you guys play Twister.
My kid's grown.
Oh, okay. Make sure.
Wow.
Make sure it wasn't a family event.
So
Stupid.
I got some things in no in order of importance, but how about this Michael Jordan thing? I know we're going to have a call
My wheelhouse.
pertaining to Black Lives Matter and things
Okay.
like that, but anybody heard anything about this Michael Jordan thing?
No, not at all. Didn't hear anything. No.
I'm sure you
No,
have.
talk to us about that, because what was the criticism was that initially that he hadn't spoken out on issues pertaining to police brutality. A lot of the criticism comes from the fact that they claim that a lot of violence occurs as a result of black on black crime. There's a lot attributed to the desire for the consumership as far as his sneakers, the brand itself,
Right.
contributing to violence, this, that, and the third. The fact that he makes money off of the prison industrial complex system.
No, that's false.
Okay, so talk to us about what exactly, how does this impact his image? What is it that Michael, how does this impact the issue itself, and what does it mean to Michael
First,
Jordan?
let me address what you just said.
Yeah,
last,
yeah, yeah.
Was the whole prison thing. That was a story. There are other people named Michael Jordan in the world.
Okay.
And so it was a white guy in Oregon who was actually the Michael Jordan that invested heavily in those prisons, not the Michael Jordan, the basketball player.
Okay.
Problem is, when you put something on the internet and it goes viral, people just, oh, it's a fact. Like, there's no way anything could be a
It's on the internet. It's
Yeah.
got to be
There's
true.
nothing false on the internet, right? So anyway, so that's that. But in terms of Michael Jordan, I guess, actually coming out, yes, it's refreshing to hear Michael Jordan actually for the first time come out. And reading his statement, he did kind of say when he was younger, you know, it's all about the brand and all this other. Well, he didn't say it, but he implied it. And now that he's older, he realizes the impact that he has. I will say this though, like I don't like putting people in positions where I feel like I never looked at Michael Jordan like I need you to say something. 'Cause
Right.
First of all, do I really need to have Michael Jordan tell me not to fight over his shoes or to do drugs or
Right.
to do anything? Right? Like I don't need him to tell me that. But At the same time, I don't put that on him. Now, I do respect those who take it upon themselves to do it. Like
Right.
people, like I got a bunch of Jordans, so people just automatically think Michael Jordan is my favorite athlete. Wrong. Muhammad Ali is and will forever be my favorite athlete because he took it upon himself to do it.
To be an activist.
Yes.
To really step
Now,
out there.
In his prime, when he had all to lose, Michael Jordan is on the downswing.
Well,
So he
Michael Jordan. I mean,
and
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
if there's
people
a downswing for
are
him.
saying, giving him some flack on it.
Right, but they give him flat because of his counterparts. Like he remained quiet. I don't have a problem with that. Like I really don't because I don't think I'm not gonna put what my expectations on you.
Okay.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like I
I
don't
see
want
what
nobody
you're
putting
saying.
expectations on me, so I don't want to put my expectations on him.
So,
But I
what-
do respect those who did take it upon them more because they took the
'Cause it
initiative
was-
to do it.
Yeah, and they had everything to lose.
Right. So I didn't
terms of doing
respect. I respected him as an athlete. I didn't respect him as a person. You know.
Well, let me ask you this, Darryl. In your view, do you think that he had any type of responsibility in terms of his influence to speak out in on this issue, as far as police brutality or Black Lives Matter or anything like that? Do you think that it was his influence should have been used early on, or do you think that this was something that he should have done?
I'm in the middle. I think it was something that probably should have been done a long time ago. Him and Barack Hussein Obama. I think that
How Barack Obama? Why is he pulled into everything?
everybody.
We could be talking about grits
Don't you
versus.
think that in terms of President Obama, he has in each
Too much.
incident?
I'm gonna quote Johnny Mathis. Too much, too little, too late.
Okay.
We got a caller on the line. Caller, you there?
What?
Yes, this is Melanie.
Hi, Melanie. How are you today?
Hi, Melanie. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. Talk to us, Melanie. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be a part of the show. I recently, of course, with all that has happened in regards to the Black Lives Matter movement and the continued murders that are taking place. I found myself in conversations, of course, on Facebook and social media, with different people of all different backgrounds regarding the matter. And I realized that through these conversations, I too was a person who had a lot to say, felt somewhat overwhelmed by all of the aspects, all the different pieces of the puzzle that really need to be addressed, and not really doing anything except for talking about it.
Okay. So,
And
oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I was going to ask you, how do you feel that our social media lip service, do you think that there's anything that actually gets, any minds that actually gets changed when you deal with that?
I do feel like my background, I am interracial. My mother is white, my father is black, and there's everything on both sides of the equation in between. I've actually done a lot of work on the genealogy. But I found that because I come from that divided background, if you want to call it that, in my case it was divided, and I have continued to work in that vein. I am a business analyst, liaison, and I basically bring people together that are on opposing teams and don't want to work together to actually work together and accomplish something in the business world. So I'm used to being able to juggle different opposing opinions and get people to come together and agree. I think some of what you see on social media is what they refer to as trolling, and people are just out there just really trying to create more arguments and not really trying to bridge gaps.
Okay, Melanie, I tell you what, your connection is coming in a little bad, but we're going to go to the next topic. We're going to reflect on this, but we really sincerely appreciate your comments, okay?
Okay.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you so much. There is a need for the social divide for each party or each piece of this to be heard. And there's also a need for people to find common ground in terms of what it is that we're talking about. In terms of the Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter, here's where I come down. If all lives matter, then stand together with the people who are not being heard. If all lives matter to you, then allow those disenfranchised voices their time, their fair time.
Agreed.
And understand that this is not a us versus them movement. The implied word is Black Lives Matter also. When you try to characterize the Black Lives Matter movement as fringe or as terroristic or as a movement that is about the violence because you've seen one or two incidents where things have turned, violent based on the level of emotion tied to an event, you basically marginalize the voice of people who are already marginalized.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
These are communities who feel as though they're not being served by a law enforcement organization, but rather occupied.
Well,
And I'm going to give you this. I come from a law enforcement family. My uncles, my cousins, my father is law enforcement. I know that Blue Lives Matter. I know what it means to pray for somebody before they go out on a midnight shift. I know what it means to clean a bulletproof vest. I know what it means to watch my father get his gear together, for his riot gear together, okay? And be afraid. But I also know that he's a Black man. And I've also sat in the car with him and gotten nervous when we've been stopped. So, if all lives matter, then listen to them all. That's what I feel
that's a
about
good
that.
point. I just feel that this topic should be given attention and continue
Absolutely.
to be given attention because it's going to just start all over again.
Yeah,
because it's going to
absolutely.
be, last week's story.
Right. And you can't, it doesn't fit in the sound bites. It just doesn't.
Absolutely. Now, we good on that? I'm just going to move into politics.
Let's do
No,
that.
I mean, y'all said everything that needed to be said. I do agree with her that I think, real quick, I don't want to dwell on it too long, but usually when people don't want to hear something, they begin to deflect,
Yeah.
and they take things out of context, and so Black Lives Matter. Oh my God, so no other lives matter. All lives matter all of a sudden, and and like you said, the implied word is also. It isn't just like you go to a cancer walkathon. That's
Yeah.
not to say that all other illnesses or sicknesses or diseases.
What about heart disease?
Yeah, like that's ridiculous. So that I think that's what happens. I think we never really had a real conversation about race. I think to the most extent is a lot of times I think there is an attempt to, like you said, marginalize what African Americans have gone through in this country. Like Bill O'Reilly just said something about, well, the slaves actually had it good that built the White House. Like, really?
That made me so
he tried
angry.
to qualify slavery as if there's good slavery and bad slavery.
Right. He said they were well fed. The slaves were well fed. Here's my, and I'm like, really? Seriously? If slavery was so grand and so wonderful, why didn't everybody do it?
Well, yeah.
Well, there
Do you know
go.
what I mean?
Point
That's
taken.
crazy. Okay.
Wow.
It's like, you can't revise or whitewash what's going on. And if we really were to have a real conversation about race, that would stop getting so defensive about what it is. You know what I mean? Don't get defensive.
Well, what's funny to me though is I don't want to take up too much time. Like I
No.
said, what's funny to me is that it's like this thought that like slavery and racism was so long ago. Like there's people still alive from the civil rights movement.
Right.
Slavery wasn't that long ago. I mean, it ended like at 18. I forgot. I don't know the exact date.
Right.
Sorry. But it wasn't like it was 300 years ago. Like
Right.
it ended, then Jim Crow was
But
another
there,
100 years.
Right.
which was, it was a 100% slavery to 75% slavery to 50%.
Right.
You still have restraints.
You people are
Exactly.
95
Just
that didn't know
weren't
free.
And let's
Exactly.
be
And able
real.
to get
Let's
a
be
bank
real.
loan.
From the time that we are experiencing some level of equality, there's only 40, 50 years divide between the level of equality that we should be looking at. So I'm not
Right.
really thinking that people are seeing, all this get over it type of thing. That's not
We
being
ain't get-
realistic.
Okay, but we still
not
celebrate
being-
Pearl Harbor. We
Yeah,
still talk about
that's not-
9/11.
that's not
We're
realistic.
gonna talk about 9/11 for forever.
Right.
You know,
and
so I don't understand. Like when things happen to other people, it's okay to dwell on that, but God
I don't
forbid.
like the get over it argument because those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I also feel like the rush to get over it is because people feel blamed, you know what I mean? And what people need to understand is that when we deal with issues of race, it's not about blaming anybody else. It's just about owning who we are.
Well, I tell you
You
what,
know?
to give an intro into politics, all of this would have been settled if Obama would have gave all black people $50.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. See, that's the other thing. People are so quick to,
I just took that $50.
At least he would have
You
gave
would have
something.
took
At least
it,
he
but
would've
you
did
know what?
something.
Here's the thing: everybody's so quick to whenever there's a first black or first whatever, they think automatically you guys should be happy. It should be over with.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about politics, let's talk about these conventions that just
$50.
happened.
You can't get
this
100.
crazy convention stuff that just happened. I'm gonna go to you for the RNC recap.
Well,
Talk about what your
Well,
boys
I can't
did
wait to
Well,
hear this.
in Cleveland.
The
Talk about what your
RNC
boys did in Cleveland.
I was
that
happy. I was
foolishness.
proud that
Utter
it happened in the town that I was raised in, Cleveland, Ohio,
Oh, my
and
God.
there were no issues. It was a very
Oh, there's some
trying,
issues.
difficult meeting
Oh.
as far as violence.
Oh, the protests outside weren't
I
violent.
mean,
They weren't throwing.
The protests were there.
They weren't throwing feces at each other
But-
outside.
But I mean,
They weren't-
I mean, as far as like shootings, because that was a
They
very
weren't-
volatile time.
They weren't.
So
I don't want feces thrown at me.
yeah, well,
I heard there was a lot of violent gay action going on, but go ahead.
so
They say them male prostitutes made.
Oh,
a
it's
whole
in
lot
the
of money.
stories. Oh, trust
Wow.
me.
They
So
made
Someone else on
a
that.
whole lot of money in Cleveland.
Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am.
well, okay, but the huge thing from that was the
Girl.
plagiarism that happened, and that was
Hold up, you mean when Michelle spoke at the Melania spoke at the
I don't know who
Yeah,
spoke.
that-
Melania Obama.
that
Right.
that was bad.
Michelle Trump.
That was
I
bad.
mean, who was it?
There's no way to look. There's no way
Oh.
to twist and turn that.
Girl.
That was not. Just right out.
When I was a
plagiarism.
child growing up in Chicago. Oh,
Here's the-
However, what was worse than that?
What was
What
worse?
was worse than that?
You're speaking about the RNC. Tell us about the RNC.
I'm saying-
I'm letting you speak through the RNC.
I'm saying-
You speak to the RNC. We'll discuss the rest.
I have
no. Tell us
I
about
have
the
no
rest.
other
How
issues.
Hold on,
how
time
was
out.
Scott
Can we go back?
Baio?
Can we-
How
oh,
was
Scott
Scott
Baio.
Scott
Baio?
Baio was great.
He
Yeah,
was.
that
What
is a-
did he talk about?
Scott Baio, speaking on behalf of Donald Trump.
Was
Scott
he
Baio
speaking for
is
women? Was he speaking for women?
He may be a B-level superstar right now.
B-level?
However,
B?
his opinions
B.
matter.
When was Charles
B.
in charge?
I'm saying the only thing worse than the speech is his acting. Like, I
When
do
was-
like B level.
When was?
Like,
the la-
I mean,
when was the
there's
last
no
time
way
Charles
you
was
consider
in
him
charge?
B level.
Okay, so wait.
Like,
Tell
he's
us,
like
Now,
P
now,
level.
now,
No.
because
Tell
of
us-
because of time restraints.
tell us about the theme.
God.
I just thought that everything was handled. I thought everything was fine except the plagiarism thing. And I thought
She
that
said
that
she
was
wrote
going to
it.
be. I hate to use the term a black eye. I hate that term. But that was a black eye on the RNC convention.
Okay.
However,
Wait. Can I ask you another question though?
Okay.
Can I ask
what
you-
was an even blacker eye
Okay.
him coming out to the Undertaker's music?
was what? Well,
We're not gonna talk about that.
but
All right.
what was worse was the
Okay.
fact
Okay. No,
that
it's okay.
Debbie Wasserman was forced to step down because of these WikiLeaks.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
Those 20,000 emails
Nah.
That
But
is
we knew.
huge.
Here's the thing.
That
we
spoke
knew,
against Bernie Sanders. That is
we
that is
knew
huge.
how
I agree.
they felt. We knew how the Democratic leadership felt in April. We knew exactly
No,
what
you
was
know
going
what?
on.
Honestly,
we
I
knew
can't-
what was going on in
I
April.
can't let them slide on that. I mean, as much as I
I'm
hate
not
to
letting
agree
him.
with Darryl,
I'm not letting him slide.
here's the thing I would say about this.
I'm not letting him slide.
I hate
But we
giving
knew.
the Republicans credit for anything, but at least they did, because they really didn't want Donald Trump to be their nominee, but they at least let the people speak. The Democrats, on the other hand, seem to have undermined Bernie Sanders' campaign from the very get-go.
I don't know.
And
I don't know
they're
if that's
saying you don't
actually.
know.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because here's the thing: you can have all the emails in the world, but the votes speak for themselves.
No, but
you can't change.
Whoa, time
you
out.
can't change.
There was discrepancy between the votes.
No,
There was
I-
many states where Bernie won, but he didn't get the
delegate vote.
The delegate vote.
The delegate vote is the delegates vote how they vote. Period.
But my point is,
the
They're
delegate
supposed
vote.
to be the referee.
The delegate
They're supposed
vote.
to be
It's supposed to speak for the
impartial.
people. though.
And
Despite
let
the
me
fact
let me explain.
that I had a
let
crush
me
on Debbie Wasserman.
let me explain.
Schultz.
She's always been kind of.
I kind of liked her.
I don't know. She's been a wishy-washy from jump. I've never been a fan. But I'm going to tell you this. I will say, and this is just purely independent, and this is purely looking at it from the outside looking in. Okay? I can't say that I love anything about what happened with the Democrats, but purely from an analytical standpoint from last week, what you said, just taking the emotion out of it. If the delegates gave their votes to Hillary, their votes stand.
But if there is a conspiracy,
their votes stand.
no. But my point is that if the Democratic committee is conspiring, the delegates included, then you have reason to sit there and just kind of look at
Now,
things. and-
let me ask you this. Are the delegates included in those emails? That's where you have to ask.
But my point though, that's
What you have to ask.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure there was some attempt to sway delegates towards Hillary.
Well, I mean that at the end of the day, the votes stand how they stand. When they took the poll on the floor,
Right,
when they took the poll
saying
on
the-
the floor that night at the
But you
convention.
saying that
I mean, at the convention.
implies that everything was on the up and up.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not taking anything away from the controversy of the moment. Okay, but at the end of the day, when all is said and done, after the controversy's out and everything's out in the open, okay.
Everything wasn't.
No, it was. It
Everything was
was
in the open, and
in
that's
the
what makes
open
it suspect.
at the convention.
And that's what makes it suspect.
But you're at the convention,
Right.
and everything's out in the open. People are pissed off, and they're chanting and all this other stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when that vote is taken and the tallies are out there, and the delegates raise their hand and they put themselves out there,
Yep.
it stands.
I look at it like
It
this.
is what it
It's
is.
shady
I
dice.
look at it like this. If my wife went in my phone and she saw, because I have a password in my phone, so she can never get in my phone anyway. But
That's
if-
shady as hell.
You so trustworthy.
If she went
That's
in
so
there and said,
shady.
listen, I found emails, pictures, naked pictures, and text messages
From Melania
another
Trump.
woman, okay? From another woman.
From Melania
And then
Trump.
I say to her, well, why are you going in my phone in the first place? No.
You wrong.
The
You
emails,
dead
the
wrong.
text
You
messages,
dead
and the
wrong.
pictures are what important. That's what's
Exactly.
important. The fact that people are not, that's a lawsuit. That's all. Why is this not a lawsuit?
But you know what?
Against the
They
DNC.
they were using
against the DNC.
favoritism
But Hillary
against
has absolutely
Bernie
nothing to
Sanders.
do with them favoring her.
Why did she step
She
down?
has
then? Why did she
nothing.
step down?
Exactly.
She has nothing to do with them favoring her. I can't help it if motherfuckers like me.
Come on now.
Oh, sorry, kids. Sorry, kids.
We're talking about.
You stay in school.
Here's the thing. Here's the
I am.
problem.
I said that, didn't I?
Here's the problem. I'm proud that you said
It's
that. too. I feel like
it's
you're
not
coming out of
her
your
fault.
shell.
It's these red cups, and everybody knows what red cups mean.
I'm gonna tell you this. What bothers me about this is that she was already dealing with backlash from her email scandals concerning Benghazi. This was the last thing
But
she
here's
needed.
the thing: the thing about the email scandals concerning Benghazi. Let's go back to that.
No,
And
I
this,
mean-
no, but let's go back. In terms of her email, the scandal of it is. The rule didn't change until after her term as Secretary of State.
No, look, me
the
and you.
rules. She was.
Me and you are going to agree on that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about as far as appearances.
Yeah, I
as
mean,
once you jumping out of one scandal and jumping into another similar,
but it's
scandal.
not her. The DNC.
Come on now.
The DNC has absolutely nothing to
She's
do with
just
her.
as complicit in that. Like
I don't
mean,
think so.
Come on now.
I don't.
You Hillary Clinton.
I got just one other thing I want to sum
I'm
up. So we
outside.
can-
I'm outside looking in because I
Come
don't
on, man.
I
I
don't
know.
feel it.
But yeah,
But-
that was foul.
That was
In
very
terms
foul.
of
Very
the,
foul.
but I'm going to give you this. In terms of the DNC convention overall, the convention was 100 billion times more
I thought it was too
positive.
black. I thought it was way too black. I mean, they opened
Way
up like
more
some
positive.
some Mount Zion AME
Way more positive.
church. It was way too
Way
black.
more positive than the RNC. If you watch the RNC convention, you'd have thought that America was on fire and that there was a bomb over our heads right now.
Yeah.
If you watch the Democratic convention, you would be ready to move to America, cut your ties with wherever you live, and
Well-
elect Barack Obama the president forever.
They
because
have Michelle
America
Obama
is great
on there, and okay, she's a
She
great
was
speaker
amazing
and all that, and that
and
slave
she should
comment,
run again, like
that slave
in-
comment just went to the jugular vein.
Yeah,
That's
it did.
all.
She
That-
ate them
you know,
all
to
the way
make,
up.
So to make
How about
everybody
you know
cry
what?
and
You
get
know
emotional.
what? Donald Trump. You know what? You better be glad you ain't running against Michelle. That's for real.
Yeah, well, true. And then Barack Obama came out, and he's an awesome speaker and
Oh
everything
my God.
else like that.
I would elect Barack tomorrow.
But
You know, it was the highlight of that convention.
how he's going to speak to a backstabber who stabbed him in the back and cut his throat?
And guess what?
During the
And he said
primaries.
she's a better. She'd make a better president. So
But honestly, I'm not excited about either one of them.
I'm not gonna lie
nobody
to you.
is.
I
Hey,
feel like-
hey! I've been independent, and I'm gonna tell you what. I've made my choice. Right here
Look,
and now.
honestly, right now,
I'm with her.
I feel like somebody's asking me whether I want to be shot or stabbed right now. But
I'm with her.
Here's the thing, though, and I would tell
You
people
sound
this.
independent.
I'm very independent right now. I'm gonna tell you this too. As far as people not voting, right? I always hear people that, and they be the main ones bitching about what's going on. Here's what I would say, because I used to argue with people like, well, you should vote because your ancestors fought for you to have that right.
Yeah.
People don't care about that. What I will say is this: vote, because it's not like they're going to cancel the election. Like, okay,
Right.
not enough people voted today, so
Right.
We're going to do this in another 4 years. They're still going to have a new president.
Yeah,
So you might as well go ahead, let your voice be heard. It's
Right.
free. It costs you no money.
absolutely.
So, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I don't want to hear you talking for the next 4 years.
And you know what?
Absolutely not.
And you know what? Regardless who's the president, the world's still going to be here. It's still going to stand. We thought everything
Unless
was
you
going to
vote for
explode.
Trump.
We
Unless
thought
you
everything
vote
was
for
gonna
Trump. If you
explode.
vote for
Remember
Trump, it's
when
gonna
Barack
blow
was
up. It's all gonna blow up.
elected, everybody thought the whole world was going to just be
That
cut in
orange
half.
Oompa
It didn't happen.
Loompa looking dude with his crazy hair is going to blow the entire world up. Him,
We're-
Putin,
We're going to
and
be fine. We're going to be
and
fine.
that North Korea crazy dude is gonna blow the whole world up because he crazy.
Well, okay. So I'm going to move on to the entertainment part.
That was entertaining to me. I don't know
absolutely.
about you guys.
I was watching the Corey Holcomb show, the 5150 show
Sweet.
on YouTube. I don't know if anybody is aware of that.
Yeah,
It's
No,
an
not at
interesting
all.
show.
Really?
And half of his crew was not there
Okay.
because they were under investigation because the African American who shot one of the policemen.
Oh wow.
He was in a photograph with some of the people that were on the Corey Holcomb show.
Wow.
So they were, being investigated by the FBI.
Wow.
So anyway, in their place,
Okay. Wait. Which who was it?
Zoe Williams. Zoe Williams has his own show.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
And he's on the Corey Holcomb
Right.
5150 show.
Right. Okay.
So he was the one. And in his place was comedian Lavelle Crawford.
Oh, I love him.
And he was funny, and he was 120 pounds lighter.
Yes.
Because he had some gastric sleeve operation in March, that he was concerned about his health and after the birth of his child. Mm-hmm. And health is very important.
Very much so.
And I would love to do a show on health, and
We should.
something to just help people in general. especially black people, because, I know that you people have bad eating
He does
habits.
it. He's
people-
doing it again.
No,
See,
I keep falling for the okie doke.
I'm cussing.
I mean-
do you know this is why I cuss?
Chicken,
I'm not mad at you anymore.
This
About it.
right
green.
here.
I'm actually happy.
no?
This right here is why I cuss.
I
this
don't,
right
I don't
here.
blame you. I don't think anybody.
No,
will
I
hold
mean,
you
you like
responsible.
your pork fats, and
What?
I mean, no, you don't. I'm sorry. But
That's why. That right there.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
then also, we got another national holiday today.
What is the holiday? I know I'm not gonna like it.
Well,
What is it?
it's on the internet. I don't make these up.
You
It's out
do.
there.
I bet you
It's
do.
out there.
You
This
mix
one
them up.
today is National Interracial Couples Stop Showing So Much Affection
That's
in
not
Public.
true.
It's there.
That's not true.
And I
think-
understand that, because it's
You
like,
know what I
we
think?
get it. You're a couple.
You know what I think?
Stop acting like your love is stronger and better
I
than
think that-
other relationships.
You know what I think? I think this is some haters.
You're
I think
already
this is just-
monopolizing television with the commercials and all of the TV
I think
shows.
I think this is Robin Thicke backlash.
I'm just telling
I
you.
do. I think this is some
Robin
hate.
Thicke backlash.
I do. I think this
So,
is some
again,
straight hate. It's straight
That might
hate.
be the first and last time Robin Thicke's name gets mentioned this year.
I've seen it.
This is straight hate. This is
So
straight
Robin
So
Thicke
just
backlash.
straight hate.
quit
Wow.
holding hands and tongue kissing in the food line.
No, don't do that.
That
That's
really bothers you.
I'm
it
telling
does.
you what I've seen.
It's straight hate.
It's on there.
That's hate. I don't think who made that up.
It's on
You
the
made
internet.
that.
It's there. Check
He
it.
made
Hey,
that up.
now mind you, he ain't mentioning like two dudes or anything. He doesn't mind that. He loves that.
That's not today's holiday,
He's pulling
but I'm
his-
sure
he's pulling
that
out his camera phone.
that's probably exists.
I don't. You know what? I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing.
God.
You know what? Okay, I think it's that time again for This Week in Stupid News.
Hey, all right.
This Week in Stupid News is brought to you by African Caesar himself. Rashawn, tell us what is going on.
All right, I'm gonna start with this one because it's funny because he mentioned there was no violence at the GOP convention, but there was a lot of anal violence going on.
Ooh.
Hypocrisy runs amok as the gay escort business pulls in a fortune
Work it, girl.
at the GOP convention.
Hey.
An article written by Richard
I
Zombeck
don't believe that.
for Liberals Unite. At the recent GOP convention in Cleveland, male escorts were making crazy money thanks to the anti-gay GOP who have turned out to be the best clients. The 2016 Republican platform has been called the most anti-LGBT platform in history. I guess there's a group of gay Republicans called the Log Cabin Republicans.
Log cabin.
I think Darryl's a member. The best
Definitely
known
not. And I definitely
Log
do not
cabin?
support.
the Log Cabin.
What does that mean?
I guess that's where they boo-foo. I don't know.
They lay that wood.
That's
no,
where
I'm
they
sorry.
go. That's hey, bunch of lumberjacks getting together in the woods. The best known gay conservative group in the country.
Sorry.
According to an article, no, don't be sorry. According to an article in the New York Post, business for gay prostitutes couldn't have been better.
Wow.
One gay gigolo said, "Business hasn't been better.
He said it like that.
I think 10 clients so far."
Don't bring those gay groups down on this
Listen.
show. They don't. They're worse than Black Lives
No,
Matter.
you know what? We're not saying anything bad. No.
No, gay people are awesome. I don't care.
No. Hey,
And I swear to God, the Post
make
said
your
this
money.
exactly.
Don't let your money make you.
Another gay hustler. A gay hustler is out there in the
Hustler.
GOP convention
Hustler?
who charged $250 an hour. Said that when the convention kicked off, he had been making around $800 per day. So that's at least what, three and a half
That's
boo-foos?
better than lawyer money. That is
It's
like
yeah, that's 3.5 boo-foos a day. Another said
okay. Wait.
that's
wait.
like a blowjob and 2 boo-foos.
I'm not familiar.
3 boo-foos and a blowjob.
Oh my
That's crazy.
goodness.
All right. Another said he made $1,600 the first 2 days. The clientele were described as evident first timers and being mostly married white guys in their 40s from. Oddly, according. Aren't you from? According to the article.
We have to bleep the show again. But anyway,
According to the article, female prostitutes didn't do nearly as well, with one whore saying that business was actually slower
Does
than
it
usual.
actually say?
there's no.
It says that.
It says one whore
the gay
saying that
population in Cleveland.
she can't be offended. Like you,
This is
that's you are
That's
literally
your
a
actual
whore.
job
I know, like,
description.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Jesus, whore.
I want to be correct. I do.
Yeah. I wonder if they all play like Naked Twister. All right, one of the gay.
That's extra.
Yes, that's an extra $100 on top. for game coverage and insurance.
I can't deal.
One of the gay male hookers said he wasn't surprised that the convention, filled with politicians who openly oppose gay marriage, brought such a boom in business. He said,
You know what, though? That doesn't surprise me because you remember a couple of years ago, probably about 5 years ago or so, where there was that big hoopla about the guy who was soliciting guys in the bathroom
Nice.
underneath,
"Oh, the airport."
Yeah, at the airport. And he was like the big, anti LGBT guy, all that legislation or whatnot. And he's steady, kind of cruising in bathrooms.
I mean, it made so much sense. I mean, GOP, Cleveland, Ohio. It made so much sense.
Well, what else you got going on?
All right, I got to get this story in.
Okay, what's the next one?
So there's a dog hooked on heroin and
Wait.
crystal meth,
Oh
and he's
my-
now clean. He's clean now, and he has a new home. An article written by, I swear to God, I honestly thought this was a fake story, and then I saw it on Yahoo.
No.
And I'm like, Yahoo doesn't put out fake stories like that.
That
So,
can't be real.
an article written by Rob Waugh for
What?
Yahoo.com. A dog was found
What?
high as hell on heroin and crystal meth
How
in a
can you tell?
man.
Don't bring those dog lovers down on us.
Oh
please,
my
okay?
God.
I'm
They're
bringing-
worse than the gays and the Black Lives
Don't
Matter.
do
We
that.
don't have the gay
Don't
dog
bring those
lovers.
dogs.
Oh my
Don't bring
God.
those
A bunch
people
of
out here
gay dog
protesting.
lovers like just
Jeez.
protesting the show.
Oh my Lord.
They found the dog in a
No, we wanna
squalid,
help. Seriously.
squalid motel room full of drugs, and
Oh
he's
my
now
gosh.
clean and has a new home. Bubba, that's his name. You couldn't find a
Bubba.
worse drug addicted dog name than Bubba.
Bubba. It's kind of, yeah.
A 7-month-old terrier
Poor
mix
baby.
spent 4 months recovering. What? Get out of here! Orange County Animal Care.
That recovery,
Singing
man.
with the dog rehab. Okay, after being found close to death in a hotel room in Tustin,
And
California.
it's Bubba, Pookie, all of them.
The dog tested positive for both heroin and meth.
Unbelievable.
He was found listless and cold in a corner of a room, strewn with drug paraphernalia. His 40-year-old owner, Joshua West, was arrested for possession of heroin and meth. Now, wouldn't it be funny if we found out that the owner went to this hotel and he just fell asleep and the dog was the one that went and got the drugs?
No,
And then, like,
no,
the owner
no.
awoke
Joshua's
Being
horrible.
accused by the police.
No, Joshua's horrible.
Hey, this dog went out there looking for the drugs.
I don't think, no.
Lieutenant Brian
Bubba
Frick,
didn't score that crab.
Lieutenant Brian Frick, an animal control officer, said, "Yeah, I walked in, I saw all these drugs on the ground. I said, where's the dog?"
Wait, what?
He just knew there was a dog in there, and walked around the corner and saw him lying listless.
No way.
He was so cold and lethargic.
Poor
I thought
baby.
it was just he had been taken from his mom too soon. I never suspected he might have gotten into drugs.
He was a little bitty baby.
Hey, look, they
He's
start
a baby
young.
dog.
They start young now.
That's
a couple
horrible.
have now adopted Bubba, who is said to be drug free and full of life.
You know what? I'm
So-
good for Bubba.
No, he is. Oh no, that's the picture
Is
of the
that
dog.
the picture
That's
of
the picture
Bubba?
of the dog.
Is that him now? Or
For all the
when-
YouTube viewers, like
Is-
you'll see a picture.
Is this his, is
You
this,
cannot think of a better picture.
is this Bubba now?
He
or-
looks like he's still high.
I was about to say, is this him now?
He
or
is
when
not recovered. Like
or
that
when
dude
he
is
was
still
high.
he's still taking drugs.
Oh my God.
Somebody give him a urine test like right now.
Poor Bubba.
Bubba is still doing meth.
But that's
That dog is still high as
That
hell.
is
I'm
a-
deleting this from my phone.
That is meth.
That dog
He
is still high.
He does kind of have meth face.
I
That's
feel like
not-
that owner was set up. I think that was his way of getting a
No,
better owner.
I don't think.
Like, as soon as
not
his owner went
okay.
to sleep, he went out to the streets,
No.
scored some smack,
That's
brought
not
it back to the room, called the police, and then laid there.
Bubba, I believe you. I
He
believe
laid
you're
there
clean.
knowing that they would
I'm
blame his
just-
owner and not him, because who would think a dog would be able to score drugs?
Bubba, I believe you.
That's
I,
bullshit. That dog is still high. That's bullshit.
That's not okay.
That is complete bullshit.
I love dogs. Don't do that, Bubba.
That dog is high as hell. You saw that? I can't wait for the YouTube viewers to see that picture. That's ridiculous.
He does look high, though.
If that's his recovery photo, like I'm.
Oh my God.
No.
All right, so we are heading into our topic, correct? We are
Yeah.
heading into our topic, which is the importance of being a real father. And we've got some callers that'll be calling in, and I just want to kind of talk about what we've got coming up. In terms of what's going on, what does it mean to you guys? You guys are dads, and you happen to have your lovely daughter here with us today. and
With headphones on.
with headphones on. She hasn't been listening.
She's heard worse. Like Camille had her listening to Rap God, so I mean, it's not really.
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah, right.
she hasn't heard
You can listen
me
to Rap God, you
cuss.
can listen to the show.
No, I was gonna say she hasn't heard me cuss, so I don't want her to get the wrong impression.
Yeah,
might
my
think more
children
of you.
do not. My children do not listen to
You
rap
might
or
grow in
anything.
stature in her eyes.
I've introduced him to rap. I started with the Sugar Hill Gang, getting into some Curtis Blow,
Oh my
but
god!
none of the heavy stuff. None of the heavy stuff.
I don't.
Wow,
My kids were raised on X Clan and Common, so yeah.
Mackenzie's heard a lot.
To the east, my brother. To the east.
Oh wow.
See that?
You are so proud of yourself right now.
I remember that.
He is so proud of himself.
We had that in a
If you could
college
give yourself
class
a gold star,
on
you would.
what not to listen to. But
He might have got some knowledge of self. That's
Absolutely.
unfortunate.
His son can't watch Deadpool though. Like, I
Oh,
just
God,
understand this.
not at all. But Rashawn, you go first on this.
No, you
what
go-
what
show-
do you
show.
think?
You
No,
go
you
first.
you go first because I'll go last because my comments will be the best.
Okay, beauty before age.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So, being a father, I say this about being a father, it is like by far the greatest accomplishment I've done in my life. No matter what I do, to know that you can create another human being and impart things into that human being that they grow up with and hopefully become productive people
Yeah.
in society. I mean, my daughter, she has the best of both me and my wife Camille. She's so smart. She's beautiful, obviously, talented. I mean, she plays the piano, violin.
Really?
Your wife?
No, Mackenzie.
Oh,
That's awesome.
And then for me, growing up poor and not really having the ability to do a lot of stuff, for me and my wife,
to expose her to that.
yeah, for me and my wife to be able to have a lifestyle in which, like you said, expose her to a lot of things, and she has her pick of the litter when it comes to anything. Like it's a good feeling, and the best feeling for me personally is whenever she's sick or when she's scared, like she, either comes to me or my wife. But lately she's been coming to me a lot and just kind of sitting on my lap and putting her head on my chest and just, she, wanting to be held. Like she's 6, but to be 7, and she's not going to be that way forever. So
Right.
I'm soaking it all up now, but she is definitely a highlight of my life. And, I don't know how anybody can have a child and not want to be a part of that child's life.
That's
Like,
awesome. And just to
She fulfills
see
it.
how you light up when you talk about her.
She is.
That to me is like the epitome of what parenthood should be. It should bring out the very best in you.
Right.
And for you to be able to pour into that child.
Yeah.
Talk to us, Darryl, about how fatherhood has changed you and what it is that you hope to bring out of your kids. That kind
well,
of thing.
I think first, most people want to have their own gender. Men want that baby boy, women want that baby girl. When my son was born, that was awesome. It was great. Okay, I got a boy. Then when the next child, and we didn't do the whole know the birth before the sex of the child. We didn't do that. We did it the old school way. So when the baby came out and it was a girl, it totally changed my life. And I'm not saying my son wasn't important. He's a huge impact to me. But I'm saying when the girl was there, I was like, wow, I got to get myself together. I have a baby girl, a child that I have to take care of. So it's just an awesome thing. I believe that 50% of being a father is just being there.
Yeah.
I think the remaining percentage is just being an example. If you're lazy and you drink and smoke weed all the time, your child has a possibility of growing up to do that same thing. If you were pregnant at 16, that example that you're setting, they may do the same thing. I think it's all the example, not anything negative against those. We make mistakes and things like that. But I just think, try to set the best example that you can. Show them what a father should be, what he
Right.
should act like, what he should walk like. I with my children, when you're talking about Mackenzie, it's like I make them feel special. I buy my daughter flowers. I want the first type of, I feel that when you have a girl, buy your child, spoil them, because if I buy her flowers, she's used to flowers. So when she gets older and starts dating when she's like 35,
30.
and a guy buys her flowers, she won't be like, oh my God. She'll be like, oh no, you're going to have to come a little harder than this dude because my father always pampers me.
Right.
My
That's the
son,
example of what
daughter,
I like
hug
that.
and kiss them all the time.
Yeah.
They know that they are loved, and I just ask that they be respectful, well mannered,
Yeah.
and do the best that they can in school. So again, being a father, I mean, it's huge. My wife knows this, and people get mad at me when I make this comment, but I love my children more than I love my wife.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
My children are job one, A1. That is the priority, So because we have that attitude, and my wife is a huge help with my children, with our children, and we work together.
Yeah.
So that being, I may not be the best. I'm a great father. I'm an awesome father. People have told me I may not be the best husband. Okay. However, showing that love that we have in our household, I think that's good for the children.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
agree.
that as the kids grow older, the relationship itself kind of evolves as far as the parent aspect. When you have children, the children are the major focus as far as the relationship aspect because you model the behavior that you want them to have in the world. So, as far as being parents, you're parents first. The relationship does kind of take a back seat until they do become productive adults. I feel like the way we said it, we were the Miller factory. They were the product. We were busy making the product while they
Right.
were growing up.
Right.
And then we sent them out into the world, so they're out there. They're already,
One other thing for the divorced fathers out there. When I speak with a lot of them, they say, oh, I'm seeing the kids this weekend. We're going to Cedar Point. I'm seeing the kids this weekend. We're going to the zoo. I have an issue with that because I look at them like you're the father, not the tour guide.
right.
You have to sit with them, talk to them, find out what's going on your children's minds.
Who are they as people?
Right. Not looking at dad as the cash cow or
Or the fun guy,
Absolutely.
or just like the
Absolutely.
you know what? So many times, the weekend dad becomes the prize. You know what I mean? And then that mom becomes the workhorse. Or vice versa if it's a custody type of deal. So it just there has to be some sort of balance when it comes to the kid as a whole person, because dads they matter to a
Right.
kid as a whole person.
Right.
Moms get a lot of credit, but at the same time, when you don't have those two pieces, there becomes something that is missing inside of someone who hasn't had a dad figure to create that bigger picture.
Right.
Absolutely.
If
Okay.
if I can add something real
Absolutely. We
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
call on hold. Please make your comment.
quick. Real quick, I agree with you. Like, as far as like the daughter, like I only have one child. I have the daughter, and so I know the impact of having her in my life as I'm not perfect at all, and so the struggle of trying to be better. Like I didn't have a mother or a father growing up, so that definitely impacted me. Like it probably still impacts me even at 32. So having an impact growing up, it definitely, like I know from my point of view, I was looking for that validation, from somebody, and that's why I always tried to like accomplish stuff because it's like I want somebody to say like, "Hey,
Good
you did
job."
great,
Yeah.
great." And so knowing all of that, I don't want her to go through any of that stuff. So that's why I try to like love her to death. And Camille at the time, we had Mackenzie, like she was stay at home mom and she went to school and I did all the working. And so, I was in and out the house and stuff, working all types of hours. So like now, my wife is working and Mackenzie, she's out of school during the summer and my shift is, changed. It's allowed us to spend more time together this summer. And like, I could definitely tell the bonus effects that it's had on our relationship. Because now, she's starting to really become a daddy. Like, she wants to be under me like all the time.
And that's
And that's
because-
amazing.
And I
That's
love it.
good.
I love it.
That's
You
good.
want to cherish that time as long as you can have it. So when they get older and are away from you, they remember those things.
I'm going to tell you what it is because as they grow up, having dealt with kids throughout the spectrum of age, especially a girl, you're going to long for these days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get to our caller. Hi, caller. How are you?
Hello?
Hi there. Who do we have on the line?
This is Dino Red.
Hi, Dino Red. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Some background on you. You are the host of the Red Rock Podcast Network, which is the home of the Shiznit Show.
Excuse me, kids. Sorry, kids.
And today's topic is the importance of being a real father. How long have you been podcasting?
I've been podcasting just, I guess, right around 3 years, a little under 3 years.
Wow, cool. Dino, so tell us about your podcast show.
Okay, well, I actually have a couple of shows right now. At one time, I had as many as 4, but now I only have 2. And actually, it's about to be 1.
Uh-oh.
I just made the announcement today that my main show, my flagship show, the Shiznit Show, that I am kind of, well, let's call it a hiatus. It may come back in a different incarnation.
Okay.
Or I may come back with a totally different show. I'm not sure at this point. I just know that I'm tired, and
Okay.
it's been a long grind, and I need a break, and I kind of I need to refocus some of this energy that I've been channeling into this podcasting into my career where I actually get paid.
Okay.
I need to focus some of that there. I still have the Pot of Thrones though.
Okay. You have the. Okay. So
we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about
That's gonna
that.
be a whole nother.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, I'm a Game of Thrones head, and if you have
I could hear it. I could hear it in the
Dude.
voices.
seriously,
She's knocking the mic over and all kind of stuff.
seriously, okay, so we got to talk. I cannot. I don't know if I can manage to wait until 2017 for another season. I don't know.
Yeah, not only that, it's coming back later than ever before.
Right.
And it's only going to be a half season.
Half season. That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy to me because like this season was off the chain. Like
Yeah.
they were back to what I love about Game of Thrones, and I'm going on a tangent. Yes, I
Wow.
am.
But we'll come right back because as soon as the other host rejoins
okay.
us.
So okay, let's just do spoilers. Okay, so Jon Snow back from the dead.
Wait a minute.
And-
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying. Help me with this. So Jon
I
Snow
think
back
your
from.
co-host is trying to save this topic for a little bit later.
I just want to, me and you,
She's new.
Just between-
we're seasoned.
Dude,
Game of
me and
Thrones.
you,
She's brand new.
just between me and you, as king in the north, okay, just between me and you. Do you think they're going to adhere to the book? Do you think that they're going to keep him? Okay, never mind. Here he
there
comes.
is no more book.
I know, but I'm just saying, as far as King of the North, I mean, what are we doing here? What are we going? Where are we going with this? Where do you think we're going with
You
this?
see, I'm not a book reader.
Okay. Here's
So
what
I'm-
I would do. Here's what I would do. And this just me because I'm sweet. I would marry him to Khaleesi.
Yeah, you're not the only one who thinks that. You know, that could
I would
happen,
do it. I would do it.
even though they're like auntie and nephew.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Absolutely.
But see, look
That
at all
can't
the
happen.
no, but look
That
at all
can't
the
happen.
incestuous mess that's going on in that doggone show to begin with.
Yeah,
How they gonna
plus,
trip?
Not to mention that.
How they gonna trip? That's how they get down to begin with.
Right. That and the Targaryens, actually Khaleesi's parents.
That's how
were
they
brother and
get
sister.
down. That's how they
So-
get down.
So you just done with incest then? You just want to see?
That's how they get down on Game of Thrones.
So I'm just saying you
Since
have not gotten your
That's
full
how
attention.
they
since
do
we
it.
went to the Game of Thrones thing, I'm going to make one
Ain't
comment.
they dating for real in real life? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to make one
You
comment.
just had your fill of incest.
Dino, will you tell them that the White Walkers and the Flying Dragons are real? They're
Oh,
real.
my God.
Will you tell them that they're real?
That's not a thing.
Of course they're real. What I mean,
No,
why?
that's-
How could they not be? I don't
That's
even understand that question.
not a thing.
Hold on, is it
They are real.
That's
Dino?
not a thing.
Dino?
That's
Who
not.
thinks they're not real?
That's
Dino?
not
They
a
think
thing.
that they're not real.
Dino, no, just say me. I
There's-
would take credit for
There's
that.
no such thing
Season
as flying.
5,
Dino.
There are no
episode 8, I
flying
believe. I can't remember
dragons.
for sure, but when those whites fell off the cliff and then
That's not.
woke up,
Do it. Do
and
the arm
started.
thing.
Oh my God!
Do the arm thing. Do it.
Oh no!
When he goes
and
like
then-
this, do it.
And then when the guy who is
That's not
the
a thing.
king, he walks on that
The Night King.
the Night
Night
King,
King, yeah.
and he looks at them, and everybody is dead, and he
Do
threw
you
his
remember
hands
the
up. Are you
CGI
kidding
from
me?
Lord of the Rings? The CGI from Lord of the Rings. The when he went into the cave to get those that were dead.
What?
Remember
Nobody
the,
watched that movie. I'm sorry. I can't even.
the
I can't even
second
follow
one.
You.
I watched all of them.
Dino.
I watched all of them,
The
but it's been a
second one.
while.
The
Dino.
second one.
Can I interrupt? Dino.
Okay, go ahead.
What's
Yeah.
up, man? This Caesar, man.
We back. Fatherhood. Let's go.
No, I just want to just interrupt real quick on this. He is so obsessed with the White Walkers. It's ridiculous. He thinks it's the greatest thing he's ever seen on TV. And mind you, this is a guy who sits up all day watching Andy Griffith reruns. So I don't know if I can.
And we're almost done with. We got 4 more episodes to go for Wonder Years. My family and I
See,
have completed
I don't
the
trust
whole
his judgment.
season.
I've seen
of Wonder
movies.
Years.
I've
Now,
seen movies that it doesn't impress me.
I just think that I don't do all that zombie stuff, and I know that that's very popular right now. I don't believe in that. So it really took me off guard when I'm sitting up there watching Game of Thrones and that happened. And I mean, I'm serious. I'm a grown man. It kept me up nights.
Did it?
That was
Wow.
scary.
Wow, that was.
That is some
Wow.
scary stuff. But let's get back to the business of hand.
Okay, we're back. So
Which-
back on the topic of
So
real fathers.
which I just want to know before we get into that, which podcast are you gonna focus on now?
Well, the Pot of Thrones. I'm going to, since there's only like 14 episodes left in the series.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
I'm going to ride that out until it ends, and I don't know if I'm going to pick up another TV show or what exactly. The only thing that I know at this point is that I will ride Pot of Thrones out to the end, and from there I don't know. I don't know if I'll start another show before that or bring the Shiznit show back or what. Because see, I love television. Actually, TV was the whole reason I kind of got into podcasts to begin with,
Wow.
even though my show is not about TV.
Right.
Because my co-hosts, none of my co-hosts, I have 3 co-hosts, and none of them watch television, including the actor.
Wow.
Seriously?
So,
Wow.
yeah, seriously. And so when you were talking about my man watches Andy Griffith and whatever else, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad
I
at
am.
it at all.
I'm mad at it 'cause it's
I came up
2016.
on Andy Griffin reruns. I mean, I'm not that old. So I didn't see it first time, but I came up on the reruns, and
That's what I'm
I
talking
will still
about.
watch them in reruns. I was watching I Love Lucy earlier today.
Oh man,
I'd rather watch that. I'll watch I Love
I
Lucy.
make my children watch that episode when Opie killed the bird and his father.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God!
Did you say, oh, yes?
You hear those
He
birds
said,
out
oh,
there?
yes.
He
as
said
if
it like he
They're
knows.
calling
Like,
for
I
their
know.
mama.
What?
Oh, man.
Wait, what?
That was a teachable moment.
know what's
right
happening?
there.
Oh,
Dino, do you have a dog named Bubba?
and he opens that window
He
up.
got a dog named.
You got a
He
dog
opens
named
that
Bubba.
window up.
Somebody got
I have
a
a
dog
dog
named
named
Bubba.
Casper. He looks like a
Bubba.
No, his
he
name
look
is
like
Bubba.
Bubba.
No.
It's cool.
Well,
Y'all both,
wow.
y'all both on the same. Look, I got 2 questions to ask you since you just said TV. I got 2 questions. I don't know how long we got, but I just want you to elaborate a little bit. One, what's the best TV show that you've ever seen? Me personally, I say it's Breaking Bad, but
But hands down, it's the Game of Thrones. No contest.
Game of Thrones is not better than Breaking Bad. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
It's not.
It's definitely
It's not.
better.
The first 4 seasons was just okay. Which main star is going to get killed off today? That was it. Like the script writing wasn't that great.
No,
The
you're not watching the
cinematography
right
in
show.
Game of Thrones is awesome. The
Nobody watches the
cinematography
show for the
in
cinema-
Breaking Bad
No.
we could do with a VHS camera.
Breaking Bad was that deal.
Only reason
There's never been anything that could come close to the level of Game of Thrones. The production, the sheer production value of it alone. Like every episode is like a mini, like a 60-minute
It costs
movie.
like $1
Yeah,
billion.
well,
It's
Wow. Okay,
ridiculous.
so it
costs
cost so
like
much
it's
money.
ridiculous.
It
$1
doesn't
billion
make it
to
better.
make. Yeah.
It just means it was better produced. That just
I
means it
will
was a better
tell you
show.
what I loved. I
Well,
loved.
part of the show is
No.
production.
I'm going to
don't
tell
have,
you.
without production, you have no
Production
show.
value dollar for dollar. The Tudors.
nah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but I guess-
Dollar for
Dino,
dollar,
But I guess my point
the
would
Tudors.
be like Batman vs Superman. That was heavily produced, and that movie was
Don't you do
nowhere
that. Don't
near
do
as
that
good
to
as-
me. Don't do that to me.
wasn't that great.
Don't do that.
So it can be produced all day.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
but-
Yeah. We're not going to do that today.
But I
I
got
wasn't
one
saying
more
that was
question.
the only reason
Yeah,
why.
I got-
I just gave one reason.
Can I ask you
Wow.
one more question? Though,
So
'Cause
we can see that television is way more important than the
father.
So
It really is.
fatherhood.
I gotta ask him this question though, because
Okay,
me and
go
my wife
ahead.
argued this all day. If you had to choose, who's had more of an impact on television, Betty White or Lucille Ball?
Neither.
Betty White.
Why am I having this choice Why are you throwing your pen down? You've thrown your pen down like 3 times.
Betty White.
Wow,
What are you doing?
If
What
you're
are you
gonna
talking about?
if you're gonna say a female
I'm talking about.
lead,
Okay.
I would have to say
Mama's
Lucille Ball.
Family.
Thank you.
Mama,
Thank you.
Lucille Ball was I Love Freaking Lucy and the Lucy Show.
Yeah, that's
okay.
not-
So
Well,
that's
it wasn't,
I'll go with
but
Mark.
it
Here's
wasn't.
go. I'm talking about.
But listen,
I'm talking
but
about
listen.
the Golden Girls.
ahead,
I'm
Dino.
talking about
But listen.
Maud. I'm talking about
Here she go.
But listen.
Mama's Family. I'm
Dino,
talking about
go.
all them years.
Dino.
Okay,
Kill-
go ahead.
kill-
You go
kill
ahead.
her.
Dick
Talk while
Van
somebody else is
Dyke and them.
yeah, I know, and he's the guest. We gotta let him talk.
Okay,
Go
go
on.
ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna Kanye you in a minute, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay, well, the reason why I said Lucille Ball is because without Lucille Ball, there might not be a Betty White.
Thank you.
So first of all, there's that. I mean, she was a trailblazer, and she wasn't just on the Lucy Show.
That was her show.
She was behind
They
it,
produced a
and
lot.
that was like
Desi Lou.
unheard of for women in that time. So you as a woman, like, really should be.
She cute and all,
really-
but I'm gonna let you finish. But Lucille Ball.
But if you keep saying you're gonna let me finish, that's not letting me finish.
Remember the Bugs Bunny?
One would argue you saying that you're gonna let
I'ma
me
let
finish
you
is
finish.
not letting me finish.
Absolutely.
Dino,
But
she's doing
Beyonce
that.
had the best video of all time. No, I'm just like,
She doing that woman thing where she's gonna talk over you.
Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
Not for that.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so she wasn't just an actress on the show. She was behind the scenes in the production and the writing and the creative part of it, which was unheard of back then.
Absolutely.
So
Even now.
and it wasn't just she parlayed that into it was the they had several spinoffs. There was the
Right.
I Love Lucy show, the Lucy and Ricky, the Lucille
That's
Ball,
right.
and
But
there
Desi
was like
Lou-
3 or 4 spinoffs.
Desi
of, I
Lou
Love
produced a lot of things.
She sure did.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if they produced Father Knows Best.
Hmm.
I'm not for certain, but they produced a lot of things.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They did. They produced a lot of stuff.
And speaking on Father Knows Best, that was perfect.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Perfect segue.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely. So, Dino, talk to us. Are you a father?
Yes, sir, I am. Proud father.
What do you feel is the importance of being a real father?
Real father. I guess by real father you just mean a good father.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean it's wow, the importance of it. It's I don't know if I can put it into words. It's I don't know if there's anything more important that a man could ever do. You know what I mean? That's like I feel like for a woman, probably the highest calling is to be a mother. I think for a man, the highest calling probably is to be a father, because you're responsible, or at least half responsible for this life or lives, however many that you have or have brought into this world. And that's like, if you think about that, that's pretty sobering, to think that this little life is in your hands, and you're responsible for caring for it and for bringing it up and helping it to be the best human that is possible, and so that they can realize all their hopes and dreams and their goals. And it's a lot, it's a lot. If you just sat there and think about it, I think that's why a lot of guys get kind of overwhelmed.
What do you think constitutes the act of being a real father?
Well, I'd say the first and foremost thing I'd say is you have to be present, because you can only be so good of a father and not be present. And being
Right.
present doesn't necessarily mean you have to live in the house with the child, although that's ideal and that's what do you call the best case scenario.
Right.
Sometimes life doesn't work out that way, but you can still be present in your child's life and not be in the home with the child. But being an absentee father, that's the fast route to being a horrible dad.
Dino, since we went back on a lot of things in the past, I remember a B-side song that the Stylistics made, and it was called "Only for the Children,"
Okay.
and it deals with, I'm only in this marriage only for the children. I'm staying here only for the children, which a lot of people don't do that anymore. But children it's huge. It's a huge type of that family situation, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I feel, to me.
It is. I would say that I don't want to say that I'm still married because of my child.
Wow.
Because that's not true.
Well,
Don't do that.
I was just making a
Please
point.
don't do
I don't want my
that.
wife to think I'm staying for the children. I'm just saying.
Right. I hear you.
That's
I hear
heavy.
you.
That's
I understand.
heavy.
But I will say this. I believe that I tried harder.
Yeah.
Because of my child. I believe that.
Okay, that's fair.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Wow.
It's an added incentive.
So in terms of saying that, and do you think that nowadays relationships being as disposable as they are, do you think people should try harder when there are children involved in terms of being the role of a father and stepping into the role of a father?
Definitely, I think people should try as hard as possible. But that's not to say I'm not that one. I'm not for people staying together solely because of the child either.
Right.
Because I think
They can sense that.
my philosophy in life: extremes of any kind are generally bad, and you want to live life somewhere in the middle. The middle is the sweet spot. And extremes of any kind is generally where I try to steer away from. So, staying together just because of the kids is bad, and you don't want to. That's not good either. But at the same time, I do believe people should try harder when children are involved.
Right.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, Dino. So, where can people reach you and to find out more about your podcast show?
Okay, well, my podcasts are listed under the Red Rock Podcast Network on iTunes and Stitcher and most podcast directories. You can even Google us or whatever else. You can find us on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook under Dino Red or The Shiznit Show. I'm on Twitter under The Shiznit Show and Instagram at The Shiznit Show. Everything is at The Shiznit Show pretty much. And the email account is theshiznitshow@gmail.com.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
We really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
your input and all your info. Sorry that we monopolized all of your time on the Game of Thrones, but we are huge Game of Thrones fans. So
And we're gonna need you back.
No problem.
I'm like,
We're gonna need you back to talk
I'm a
about Game of
diehard fan,
Thrones next season.
Hey, anytime. It was great talking to you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
awesome, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Real talk, the first best season was this past season 6. Like, that was the best
Season
season.
6 was off the chain.
Season 6 was off the chain. That was
Season
it.
5 was awesome
No,
too. The
no.
best scene was that
No.
season 5, episode 8, and then the second scene was that Jon Snow thing when he comes out of the crowd when he was buried
Oh my
with that
God.
crowd.
Oh, yeah,
that
I
should have been
agree.
the finale.
I don't know
I
about
tell you
that,
what, I liked it when Rob was killed.
but- So the next 2 seasons
When
are only going to have
Rob-
7 episodes.
When Rob Stark was killed, the Red Wedding, that was sweet too.
That wasn't
Yeah.
sweet. That
It was
What
sweet.
was sweet about it?
It was sweet
It
because
wasn't
they all
sweet.
got
Look,
killed at the same time.
That doesn't make it sweet. It makes it stunning.
It
but it
was-
doesn't
What
make
was
it
that,
sweet.
season 2?
That was-
Yeah.
the end of
season
season 2, the
It
finale.
wasn't sweet. That's my
I thought
point.
it was sweet.
There's so much
the
hyperbole.
setup was sweet.
It's so much hyperbole when it comes to Game of Thrones. Like, everything is just the most awesome thing. The White Walkers, awesome. The Red Wedding, awesome. No, they're stunning and they're shocking. That doesn't make it awesome.
It makes it awesome.
Shark attacks are stunning
The
and
budget.
shocking. They're
There's
not
no
awesome.
just the budget alone.
I also like.
just the budget
I
alone.
like the storyline for Arya Stark. I do like her storyline.
You know what? It
I like
started
her
getting old
journey.
after a while. I'm finally glad that something happened because it started getting old.
Yeah, I like her journey. I like her journey.
She has the most compelling storyline out of any storyline on that show.
yeah.
Easily.
well,
I can't wait till she reunites.
And Jon Snow, I'll give it to him too. Game of Thrones is so overrated when it comes to content.
I don't know.
I don't know. I would say Cersei has a compelling storyline.
Game of Thrones is like an iPhone. You got people who
Cersei
swear
has-
by it, and then
She
you
has
got
a
your people who
compelling
want a
storyline.
galaxy.
Banged her brother for like
or whatever.
4 seasons.
All her kids are dead.
So from who? Who are those kids from?
all her kids are dead.
From
Now
her, from what? Her what?
from her brother.
Exactly. That's all she did for the first 4 seasons is just bang her brother.
Yeah, but
But I
they got
mean,
away from all that. They
this
got away
right
from
here
all
is
that,
like
and they're
now
more
it's all
plot oriented.
It
now
took
it's
them 6
all
seasons to do that.
revenge.
6 seasons.
Okay, well okay, back to fatherhood.
So
So about Jamie Stark's fatherhood. No, I'm kidding.
That dude was an asshole.
you know, I guess I have to look more so
Oh gosh.
focusing on because of the fact that the divorce rate is over 50%.
That's so sad.
We are focusing more on the stable family situation. But
Right.
looking at things from the outside, I did say something about the divorced fathers. But because of the fact that divorce is out there, how do you become? How are you a good father? How are you?
One of the things
how do
that
you
really
divide
bothers
that up?
One of the things that really bothers me
And
so
when
much.
you're marrying somebody else and they got kids,
Let me say,
you know, so it's a tough haul.
I think it's a lack of importance on marriage. I think
Yeah.
one of the things that I like yesterday, I don't want to say any names, but I took my daughter to violin practice, and I noticed this couple, they had 3 kids, and for whatever reason, I just like noticed that neither one of them was wearing a ring, and I'm just kind of like, you know, what when you propose to a woman and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you my last name and marry her," that's like a level of importance. And you know, you can sit there and say all day, "Well, we're together, and you know, I'm working, and she takes care of home," and you can act the part. But I just think if there is something missing when you don't show that woman, "Hey, look, I want to make this official, and I want to show you, like, I could, you know," because at that point you just common law.
Wow,
I'm not
you sound
wearing
like
my
a
ring 'cause
you
I
sound
got
you sound
Well,
like
you
a
got the
true
ring.
Republican.
I got real bad eczema.
We got a caller. We got our caller on.
I do. See that I got real bad
Wow,
eczema.
but he sounds
How
like
you
a
guys
true.
doing?
Hey,
What's going on?
Healing.
Carl Seaton, is that you?
Hey
This is
Carl.
Carl Pete, yeah.
Girl,
Carl, hi, how are you?
How are you?
you are
I'm
excited.
fine. I said I walked into the middle of something. I like that. It's all right.
Oh, you know, hey,
I have to thank you. I have a thank you before we get started.
What?
I do. And you don't know that I have this thank you. Your movie, the Bad Dad Rehab, that was on TV1.
Yes.
We have a connection. You guys actually used a song of mine in Bad Dad Rehab.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you did. You used my song Let's Go in one of the
nice.
scenes. The metal song.
Wait, which song?
Let's
What area? What?
It was Let's Go. It was the scene where they were doing the rescue for the girl. Taking her,
Oh, I got it. Okay.
the metal song. I want to thank you guys. That was my first TV licensing music placement. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure. It was a cool little song that worked in that moment. So.
I really, really, really appreciate that.
so I also have thank yous because having you on the show is the trifecta because we had that the 2001 film 1 Week, which was one of my favorites.
Thank you, brother.
We had I don't want to mess her name up.
Sadaka.
Young?
Sadaka. Sadaka Muhammad.
was an awesome interview on the show. Then we had Kenny Young, and now we're having you. So
Yeah.
thank you, brother.
Okay, so
Oh, man, it's my pleasure, man.
introduce
We're
Carl
one
to
happy
everybody.
family.
Yeah, you know, and also we know Jody Williams. He's a good friend of mine. I went to high school with him.
Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, you from Cleveland, huh?
Absolutely, I'm from Cleveland.
I
So,
only got that championship. Okay.
here we go.
It took the NBA and the referees to give it to him, but you know.
Wow. Yep. We've been rebuilding.
Let's introduce Carl to everybody.
So, hey, Carl is he's an actor, director,
No,
producer.
not an actor. Not an actor.
Oh, not a director, producer.
Yes, writer, director, producer. All behind the scenes stuff.
Got it. And he has worked with such talents as Robert Townsend, Angela Bassett, and Malik Yoba.
Awesome. Yes, and today's topic is the importance of being a real father. And your recent movie, Bad Dad Rehab, was an excellent showcase of this very, very this topic itself. And one thing that I want to kind of highlight, a lot of people saw that title, and they thought it was going to be one thing. They thought it was going to be kind of a man bashing type of show, and it turned out to be something very uplifting and something very like inspiring. So talk about that, and also, you know, just your journey in filmmaking.
Okay, well, for starters, going back to the title, I agree. The title is a little off-putting, and that was a unanimous note that myself and the cast we all had, because we felt the story was much bigger than that, and we really wanted to, and me personally, I wanted to target men, because I know women was that, a certain type of woman would hear that and be like, oh, I'm watching that, oh yeah, and we wanted to target men, but the network felt that it was a more catchier title, and the network is those are the people that cut the checks, so that's a battle that we lost. We definitely put up a fight.
Now, Carl, it was called. Okay, let me go back a little bit on that. This was entered into a film festival or something. How did this come about? And then there was a different title.
It was written by a woman, Karonda Kiki Knight, and originally it was titled Deadbeat Dance.
That would have been even more provocative.
Well, you call it provocative. It's funny. Women think it's provocative. Dudes hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that.
I say provocative to be nice.
Yeah, I hear you. So we were like, yo, to give this film a chance to its proper audience, you got to modify the title.
Yeah.
And through that pushing, they changed it to Bad Dad Rehab, which is not quite Deadbeat Dad Rehab, but, you know. So, yeah, I knew going in we were gonna make a film. My intention was to make the film unapologetically for men, because, you know, we definitely have women. We have a platform for women to kind of show their perspective. We rarely ever see not just black men's perspective, but their ability to emote in a way that doesn't emasculate them. And that was my intended personal focus. And originally, Kiki wrote it as a comedy, which makes sense for the title Deadbeat Dad Rehab. You know, so because it was written as like a comedy, lighthearted, that title, it was more of a tongue-in-cheek thing. But I know this really is the most funniest matter. You know? And I applied what I learned from making 1 Week with Kenny Sadaka. When we first wrote the first draft of 1 Week, it was a flat-out comedy. And we wrote it, and we sat on it. Because that's what we do as writers. We write it, and writing is more so rewriting. You don't just write it one time and say, let's go make it. We write, we rewrite, we rewrite. And we realized, after looking at the first draft, like, yo, man, this is cool, but it's really no lasting matter. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. 1 week.
You know,
it's not.
Right. So we kept the comedic elements, but we really got the dramatic foundation to build upon. That's the same thing that was applied to Bad Dad Rehab. There's some funny moments in it, but after a while, it's really no lasting matter.
Right.
But you need the funny moments to kind of lure your audience in and kind of give them thinking, oh, it's going to be this. You're like, nah, it's about to be this. So you kind of got to hoodwink your audience like that. And because audiences are so sophisticated because they've seen so many films, they know the genres, they know the structure, things can get really predictable fast. So you really got to stay a couple of steps ahead of your audience. So really kind of get them to invest in the story and the narrative. So
awesome.
So how did you get those actors to get on board with this particular story?
I was straight to the script. The network went out to these actors. So we had a wish list of the cast, and I wanted some faces that people had seen before, but not necessarily on a TV One film, because I wanted that freshness. And you know, they reached out to some brothers that we've seen grow up.
Yeah.
We've never seen them as men. You know, like Wesley Johnson has always been a comedic actor.
Right.
And I know I've seen him do some other things. I know his range. I said, man, this dude would be dope. And Robert Rashad would be dope for this because they get a chance to flex their real muscles. These guys are beasts, man. They're beasts.
Yeah, Wesley was good.
I'm sorry, what you saying?
I said Wesley was good. Super good.
I mean, well, all these guys, people give them the ability to flex their muscles and create and really, really take it there was a treat for me. And I told all of them individually and collectively that two jobs: to protect the narrative and to protect their performance. Those everything else fell under that. So those are my main two priorities. I really wanted all these guys to shine. You know, so that once the film has done its thing, people are like, yo, that guy came in and did that. Let's use him for this. I mean, I would love for this to help advance them even further. These guys have been doing this for a minute. And so, you know, and they were all seasoned professionals, man, no divas, came in ready to work, you know, ready to step up, ready to hit those moments. And I wanted to make sure that I could provide an environment that would allow them to, take their moments and make those choices that really would elevate it from the script to the screen.
And that is awesome, bro. Now with all that, what is your motivation? How do you have the energy that you have?
Man, I'm from Chicago originally, and Chicago, despite some of the negative impressions that people have of Chicago right now, it's a very soulful city. It's very soulful.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just church either. It's really a soul. Even the music, listen to Kanye and Common and R. Kelly even. It's a soulful city. So we all kind of gravitate to a soulful thing. And I read this book, Mastery. And in the book, Mastery, they talk about what your life purpose is. And I read, and by trying to figure out what my life purpose is, I was able to determine that I'm a storyteller who likes to provide stories that reflect the complexities and sensitivities of men of color.
Okay.
So once I figure that out, it's easy for me to figure out stories that appeal to me now.
Okay.
So I'm not just fishing and like, yeah, I want to do this. I'm really like, no, this is my strength, this is my strong suit, and this is something I can really invest in and immerse myself in. It really brings something out that can resonate with an audience.
So I want to hear the fellas talk, okay, about the fatherhood thing. So we are talking about the subject of fatherhood. So if you guys had to really just kind of chop it up about what it is to be a dad, what kind of things would y'all be talking about like right now? What is the best parts? What's the hardest parts? What goes on with you guys as far as fatherhood? I know when it's us girls talking about being a mom, it's all of the growing pains, the struggles of, making sure that, we're dealing with emotions and things like that. What do you guys really have a hard time dealing with as far as the dad piece?
Yeah, what do you think, Carl?
Well, let me say this. I am not a father. I am an uncle, and I am a godfather to several children. So, first of all, I applaud any man who is a father and any woman that is a mother, because this job has no vacation, no breaks, no tenure. It's nonstop, and it's a constantly evolving journey with you all, from the toddler to them walking and you running after them, to them going to school and getting them educated and making them quality people, and giving them enough support and encouragement so that when they do step out on their own, they can stand on their own. So I applaud anybody. So I think, but I talk to my friends a lot. I ask my friends that are fathers a lot of questions, and I've always been an inquisitive guy, So I would ask people, yo, man, so what's it really like? What's it really like? And, for men, I do know that it is surreal because, you have this baby coming into the world, and you look, sometimes that it's funny because some of my friends had instant connections with their children. Some of them did not. And it scared them that they did not. They're like, man, I'm just not there. I'm like, man, I'm not really connecting with this kid. But in a couple of months, it's all gone, and they're just in love with the kid. So, it's definitely an ongoing thing where you learn about not just the kid, but you learn about yourself as well. And you start to see your parents as different light. I learned as well once you become a parent. All the things from your parents did you didn't quite understand, you didn't like, starts to make a lot more sense to you now that you are a parent, and so forth. So I applaud every man that steps up and every woman that steps up as well.
Now I just want to interrupt you for a sec, Carl. You entered the answer with saying that you're an uncle. Now, with me, growing up, my father was killed in a car accident when I was 6 months. And when my stepfather came along, what I had was an example of what type of father not to be.
Wow.
And I also had my uncles. And my uncle, one in particular, all of them were important to me, but James Miller in particular helped somewhat kind of raise me a little bit from, giving me that example. So uncles I feel are huge. Does that make sense?
Uncle Daddy.
Absolutely. Yeah, and not just because that, but as an uncle and a godfather, because I got my godson came out here. He was in L.A. with me for Christmas, and he spent a week with me, and I was able to show him around L.A. and kind of just expose him to different things. And coming from Chicago to L.A. as a 14-year-old is like eye-opening. And because I'm not his father, I can talk to him about a lot of different things his father might not just be able to approach as easily. I can talk to him about girls and any subject matter I want to broach, I can bring it up and we can have a discussion. And I let them know that you can talk to me and I'm not going to be running back to your father
Right.
like that. So I
Right.
really get a chance to
That's
get his perspective and then share things with him as well. So, because, kids growing up, they're going to figure it out one way or another. Either, so it's best to kind of have somebody that can talk to, they can feel comfortable to talk to about, as opposed to just figure it out on their own.
that is the cool thing about having a cool uncle or
Right.
cool auntie. Yes,
Now,
yes.
now, Carl, I heard you on another podcast, some other interview, and you were saying that someone said that all you have to do is take care of your children until they're 18. Do you feel that being a parent ends at 18? It's over?
God, I wish.
Not only does it not end, it intensifies at 18.
Jeez.
Because your kid gets drafted at 18. You
Oh
in the
my
league
Lord,
at 18.
tuition,
You know?
Jesus.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, guys say that because they're paying child support and things like that. But they know, I mean, once your kid goes to college, man,
Man, what?
or not just into college, but out of high school into the workforce, and, I mean, your kids are going to need you. I mean, I know 30-year-olds who depend on their parents. 40-year-olds depend on their
Why
parents.
you got to bring up my business, bro?
I'm just saying, brother.
I
just
told
wanna
you
let
that in
you be-
confidence.
Hey, man, I just want the audience to know that once your child turns 18, it is not over. You can't
Right.
just wipe your hands clean and say, I did this like Pontius Pilate.
Absolutely.
It just gets more intense. Because then you're dealing with them as semi-adults. They think they grown, but they're really not grown.
Mm-hmm.
But they act and move like they grown. They feel like you have to treat them like they're grown, but they still make childish mistakes. And then I think back to when you were 18, you realize how stupid you really were.
Right.
That's why I look back. I didn't know half what I thought I knew.
Lord.
I agree
I'm still learning
100%.
so much more. Yeah, so no, it's definitely not over.
Can you call my daughter and tell her that?
It's a hormonal thing at that age.
Lord.
Wow.
It's hormonal, and they're like, you know what? I did the time. I got a high school diploma. I'm going to college. I live on my own in the dorm. You can't tell me nothing.
Right.
So, it's a process. But, usually something happens. Usually something takes place that lets them know, oh, man, my family's holding me down.
Right?
And that's the most important. Once a person finds out this group of people are holding me down, that starts to transcend a lot of ideologies they may have embraced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you get out into this world, you realize, you realize who your friends and your family are and where you get your love.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And
so
what real
you get
love
kicked in the
actually
teeth a couple
means,
Correct. Yeah, you get kicked in the teeth a couple of times. You be like, oh, wow, I didn't get kicked in the teeth at home. Let me go get some of this loving at home. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I think that's kind of the thing as far as, especially the overarching theme as far as fatherhood and family altogether, is that, you never know exactly what love means until you really embrace the role as far as where you fit in the family structure. And when you really embrace the role of a parent, or when you really embrace the role of a father, that's where when you really begin to understand that love.
I agree on that.
yeah, I agree as well. Yeah,
So, Carl,
absolutely.
where can people find out more about you, and what you're doing?
They can check out. Well, okay, they could. I'm new to the social media game, so bear with me now.
Oh, wait.
wait.
You're a social media novice, and are you a social media novice because you do it yourself, or are you a social media novice because you have other people doing it for you?
I do it myself.
Okay.
I do it myself. So, for example, when the movie premiered, we were all live.
Wow.
They asked if I wanted somebody to do it. I'm
Okay,
like,
so
I'll
what's
do
your
it.
Twitter handle? Because I'm on my phone.
Okay, my Twitter handle is Cetone, Ceetone, and my Instagram handle is I am Cetone, and my website is cetone.com, CETONE.com. So,
Okay.
live tweeting. I wasn't ready, guys. I wasn't ready. I really wasn't ready. I didn't know it was that. Well, first of all, I know people live tweet during shows like Scandal and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not really on Twitter like that, so I didn't really know what it consisted of. Once the film started, and I answered one person, like, bam, I knocked that one out. And then there'd be like 15 other questions,
Right.
barrage of questions, and it was ongoing. And I was getting lost, and my phone was dying, and I had a headache. And I was trying to watch Yeah, it was a lot. I wasn't ready.
Right.
I wasn't ready. So
I
got my
definitely
butt
know what
kicked
you're
at first
saying.
reading. So yeah. So I was overwhelmed and exhausted. When we went off, I was pretty tired. So I was
Did
like,
you
okay,
look?
I
Did you
can go
have to
out and
catch
work.
up? You had to catch up.
Wow.
I gotta get my Twitter endurance up. That's what it is. I
Right.
lack Twitter fitness.
That social media, man, is huge. It's huge. But Carl,
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
we want to thank you, man, so much for taking the time to call into the show. Again, I'm just honored for to have such talented people taking the time to call in. I mean, it's right from TV One and an independent filmmaker. I'm just thankful. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Darryl, hey, it was truly my pleasure, man. And, there are a lot of storytellers out here, man. You'd be amazed who would love to not just share their films and their work, but the voice and the passion behind it, because we're all fueled by a higher power. Sometimes it's not necessarily. It can't be about the money, just about the money. A lot of people would have gone a long time ago. So we're fueled to. We were motivated to tell stories that elevate people, touch people. Make them laugh, make them cry, make them feel something.
That's what's up.
So, and we all know that because this medium is so powerful, you can't just say, "Oh, we'll put this movie out here and then keep it moving." Because people, especially people of color, we haven't really been represented that much. It's really a new thing in the last 20 years we've been represented properly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm glad you said that.
I'm glad too.
Hold on, I'm glad you said that because my son is an actor, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that Aaron Miller is coming out of Morgan State this year as an actor.
She always got the plug. I'm sorry, bro.
I do it all the
Hey,
time.
you know what? You gotta plug family.
Because my baby, I just want my baby to work.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, Carl, we want to thank you again, man. We're going to get ready to conclude the show, but we will be in touch and we will keep on
Thank you
watching
so much.
your projects. We look forward to your next venture.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. And Bad Dad Rehab was off the hook. Check it out on TV One. Check it out on TV One, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
All right, y'all. Take care.
You too.
All right, we have come to the place in our show where it is time for our Sing Poet apology. Who are you apologizing to this week, Darryl?
Well, you know what? Based on everything that we've been talking about with fatherhood and things like that, I want to apologize to my children.
What's that?
I have said jokingly, I've mentioned that I am blackifying my children over their summer vacation. That is a joke to a certain extent.
Okay.
I feel that all races and nationalities should know their heritage.
Okay.
Know who they are.
Okay.
Not being racist or thinking that they're better than anyone else, but to know that. And I think that, I hate to relate it to like this, but it is the truth. Sometimes we care more about our dog being a purebred versus us keeping our race, our heritage alive. Nobody wants a mutt. Nobody wants a mutt.
Unless
You
they
know
get
what?
the heroin
Can I
enough.
just
Well,
oh Lord. This is not.
the Bayesian bland
That does
agenda,
not
I
sound-
feel,
oh my
is
God.
in full effect.
Are you hearing
So what
this?
happens is, I put a lot of pressure on my children, because they grow up in a colorblind society.
Eric, I'm sorry. I don't even know.
They grow up in a colorblind society.
Dude.
So, and black
Bruh.
people especially, we accept.
We now.
No,
it's
you
we now?
people. Yes, you.
We accept.
You.
We
Dude, I'll
accept
tell you.
the stray cats of society. We always are so loving and so forgiving, and we accept this and we
Bow
accept
Wow.
that.
This is Bow Wow. He talking
So,
about. I'm not I can't
I-
relate to what he is talking
I'm saying
about. I don't know.
I will apologize to my children if some of my ideas and philosophy is a little off center, but Daddy knows best.
Really.
Daddy knows best.
All right, I'd like to issue an apology too to his children for different reasons. I'm sorry that's your father. Like, what the hell? I guess I should throw his wife in there too. I'm sorry you married this guy. Like, I don't know. Maybe you didn't know what you was marrying at the time, but
But that
I'm gonna.
what?
There's no apology. I'm just gonna extend our disclaimer that we probably ought to put on the show at the very beginning.
We need a
That the
lawyer and
idea,
retainer.
yeah, that the ideas expressed here do not reflect
The beige agenda.
the
it's there.
overarching.
What?
It's there. And
I don't-
I showed you that
you know.
information that it is there.
Yeah. Okay.
We need to be proud of who we are. Be you white, Irish, German,
Yes, please be proud of
Whatever.
your heritage.
and
Please
also
be
the
proud
longevity
of your heritage. And don't
to continue.
worry
So
about.
okay.
There's no.
so the
even-
heritage trumps your love for a person.
You know what Dr. Umar Johnson said about that?
I'm asking
We're not doing that.
No,
You cannot
So what have
control-
you guys
people
got
say-
going on
people
this
say you
weekend?
can't control
Okay,
who
you
you
know
fall
what?
in love with. You can. Don't date them.
Wow, Bush.
Don't date them.
What?
Let's go. What have you
Remember
guys?
the time we had that?
Okay, what have you
We
guys
had that
got?
one girl here.
Hey.
And she said that,
Hey,
and we know she never dated anybody, so I
Hey.
don't even know why she was on the show.
hey,
What's up?
what do you guys got going on this weekend?
I guess I gotta like update myself on the beige agenda. Like
I
know
don't
what-
think that's a
I
thing.
will take. I will
That's
talk
not a
to you
thing.
about it.
That's not a thing.
I'm scared of that.
Thank you
conversation.
so much for viewing. You know what,
bet.
Eric? I love you.
I don't know if you want to date Tyra Banks. Her
That's-
and what's the other?
That
chick?
was our producer saying about he likes Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks and the other chick from X-Men, Halle Berry. That might be two chicks you might stay away from.
Okay, okay. Well,
If you that fine and you can't keep a man, something wrong with you. Just real talk.
I don't think that's beige. I think that's
well, she's mixed.
but
Halle Berry is.
yeah, but that's not an agenda. That's just like a thing.
No, I didn't think it was an
That's
agenda.
personal.
I just
That's
had to
kind.
throw
I
that
think that's
disclaimer out
personal.
there, since we're throwing disclaimers
Okay.
out.
I am playing the Tilted Kilt this weekend on Saturday. It is an acoustic venue. I'll be playing with Mike Day on guitar. We want to thank everybody for helping us reach over 500 likes on our Facebook page. Tell your friends about us on Facebook, and we will be mentioning your names, and Darryl won't forget them.
I won't.
Each week as you guys comment on our show. And you can always visit us at www.fullcirclepodcastshow.com. And all our info is there, including ordering info for my CD, Darryl's latest books, and on Rashawn's Sneaker Box
Oh, now
podcast.
she's
Now
having
she
trouble.
messing it up.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. Sneaker Box
Was it a
podcast.
virus?
I'm sorry.
Spreads from co-host to co-host.
And just to interrupt, I got you, Desiree Stinson and Angela Spikes. Thank you.
Thank
Also,
you.
too, drug test your animals, because the last thing you want is the police to show up at your house accusing you of doing drugs, and your animals are getting high on crack, heroin, meth,
No,
whatever.
no.
Drug test them.
Full Circle Podcast Show at gmail.com for questions,
That's
comments.
why I have pets. I ain't got to worry about it.
And or if you want to be a guest or even a sponsor of the show, don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on
Animals
YouTube.
getting high and you get in trouble. What type
Nobody
of shit?
wants some
What
money.
is that about?
Check
Nobody
us out
wants
on
some money.
iTunes,
Especially a drug-addicted mutt
Stitcher.
named Bubba.
Absolutely.
And remember, take a stand for something.
Yes,
You
anti-drugs.
have an opinion. Use it.
Good night, everybody.
Get me in trouble.
Crime.
Let's get it together.
Education.
Let's get it together.
Marriage.
Let's get it together.
Politics.
Let's get it together. Full circle.
Poverty.
Let's get it together.
Race.
Let's get it together. Full circle.